Thank you, Lonnie. Well, it's always a treat when we get Chef Rob in the house. He's an instructor at the Art Institute of Fort Lauderdale's Culinary School, but in addition to that, he's a master chocolatier. And his creations are not only tasty, as you've been seeing me eating them all morning, they're also among the most beautiful you can ever see. And you're going to make every woman feel wonderful today by telling us that chocolate is good for us.
Well, actually, chocolate is not a bad food.
Okay.
It's not a bad food at all. When you eat the right type of chocolate, which is a dark chocolate, it has plenty of antioxidants in there, which helps to fight the free radicals, as we know. It also has a chemical called phenylethylamine, which is the same chemical that is released when you fall in love in your brain.
Really?
So that's what makes you feel so good. When that chemical is released, it also produces ephorins, which is the same way you feel after you make love.
Oh, my goodness. You know, I had some of your chocolate, and you're looking real interesting. I'm just being fresh. Okay, tell us about the art of making chocolate.
Well, making chocolate is an art because it's such a hard thing to work with because the cocoa butter is so temperamental, the temperatures have to be exactly right, and it's really more a craft of love than anything else because it takes so much time. This is the actual cocoa pod where the chocolate originally starts, and this is dried, so it's a brownish color. Usually they're red, green, orange, and they only grow 10 degrees north or south of the equator. Hawaii is even Hawaii, but mainly Venezuela, South America, Africa. Inside there is these beans. And the beans don't look like this when they first come out. They're all slimy pulp. They have to ferment them for like 3 days in wooden boxes. And this is still done this way today, as it originally was.
How fascinating.
Then they're dried in the sun. And this gives us the dried cocoa bean. Inside, you see, is the meat, which is called the cocoa nib. Before they crush it, they need to be roasted. So they roast them, and that's the secret of every chocolatier that manufactures the chocolate is the roasting process. That really develops the flavor, and they all have their secret time and temperature that they roast it.
Just so interesting.
This is the cocoa nibs, and this is actually now the most healthiest way to eat the chocolate because it's solid chocolate, and it's not that bitter. It's good,
so
crunchy.
Just eat it like that?
Yeah, it'd be great to put in oatmeal or something like that, and you could get that online, even organically grown.
Alrighty.
When they squeeze it out, comes the fat. That's the cocoa butter. And cocoa butter is classified as a saturated fat, but the stearic acids in it kind of neutralize it, so it will not raise your cholesterol. So this is why it's not a bad food, okay? Once they add sugar now to the cocoa nibs are ground, this gives us a dark chocolate. And that's the one that is the most healthy for you because it's 65, 70, 75% cocoa. They only add maybe 30% sugar is the most, and so this way you're getting the most benefit.
Okay.
When we move into the milk chocolate now they add milk and more sugar, so now you got cream fat, so that's not really that healthy. It's only 30%.
It sure tastes good.
Unfortunately, that's the most popular one in this country. Only in America. Every other place in the world, they like the dark chocolate.
Okay.
The white chocolate on the end, that actually isn't really any cocoa at all. This is just the cocoa butter that we saw earlier mixed with milk and sugar. And that's why. Now, cocoa butter is what makes the chocolate melt on your tongue. It melts below body temperature, so as soon as you eat it, it just like melts and the flavors explode. And you should always eat chocolate room temperature. Never, never out of the refrigerator. You shouldn't store it in the refrigerator.
Oh, really?
You want it to be warm.
I had no idea.
Even rubbing your fingers a little bit to warm it and liven it up so when you eat it.
You really warmed up things today.
Oh, this is, well, we really got warm. Here we got a beautiful home-style chocolate fountain. I'm sure everybody's been to a bar mitzvah or a wedding when they see these huge ones. You can actually get this online in some of the local stores, Bed Bath & Beyond, even Walmart, even Costco have them now.
Do they really?
And you can have your own little chocolate fantasy right in your own house.
That is really neat.
And we
And now, when I put this on, should I just put it under like that?
That's it. Just stick it in there, and it gets totally coated. Look at that.
And now, when do I eat it?
Right now. You want to eat it while it's warm. Yep.
Oh! Okay, here comes Lonnie.
Here comes Lonnie. Come on, Lonnie. Let's go.
Okay, tell me a little bit about your chocolate company while we're here, while Lonnie eats.
We got Sensational Chocolates.
You guys help yourselves.
Sensational Chocolate is a company that started about a year and a half ago, and we're using a single bean Criollo, single bean, not blended, not from different kind of Criollo bean. Is the most prized sought after bean in the world, only 10% of all cocoa. And we have 6 different flavors. We use only pure paste from Italy, fresh cream, Tahitian vanilla beans, and the colors are actually cocoa butter, so there is no...
well, how do you get the designs like that, though? I mean, they're just so beautiful. They're all
actually hand-painted. Everyone is hand-painted,
really?
and we spray with an airbrush.
How can somebody get your chocolates?
We have a website, sensationalchocolates.com, or this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we're going to be at John Pierre's Cooking School up on Federal Highway. There'll be big balloons hanging outside and a big sign, and you come right in, and we'll have a big display set up. Maybe even the fountain will be there. We can dip some strawberries.
That would be fun. Yes, sir.
Can I ask, if they're all hand-painted, how much is one chocolate? It's got to be like $2 a chocolate or something.
The gift box, but you know what? People now are realizing chocolate has reached the revolution as coffee. 10 years ago, if I told you paying $5 for a cup of coffee, and you'd wait online 20 minutes for it, what would you tell me? You're nuts, right?
No way.
Every day people do it now. And chocolate is the next stage.
Especially fine chocolate, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Well, I tell you, your chocolate is so good. And you know what? It must be neat for the students that you're an entrepreneur and you have a chocolate company.
Very cool.
But you teach at the Institute.
And I can also pass along a lot of the information about setting up the company and what to do and how many hours it takes, because the young generation doesn't realize that. They've been given everything, so they think they're just going to open the door, and that's it.
Doesn't work
They
that
don't
way.
know. It's,
How long have you been in the food business, the culinary business?
Longer than I like to say. Let's just say I started washing pots when I was 10.
Really?
We'll leave it at that.
Oh, my goodness.
okay?
And you still enjoy it?
I still love it. Every day I get up, every day. And
Why did you decide on chocolates?
chocolate is, of course, it's clean. It's very clean to work with. It's cool. There's no ovens, there's no nothing, and it has a shelf life. We have a 3-week shelf life, so if I need an order for next Tuesday, I can make it today, and there's no problem, and it's just a fun thing to work with, and everybody loves chocolate, everybody.
You're right about that, and people are eating up your creations.
Good, I'm glad.
Well, to get a look at Chef Rob's creations, and believe us, they are sensational, you can go to our website at NBC6.net, and we'll click you right over to his so you can get those Valentine chocolates. Hurry, guys, and we're coming right back after I eat. After I eat.